back to the campus of Wake Forest University. We are outside of Wake Chapel. I'm along with Margaret Johnson and also Wanda Stark and Talitha Vickers, who were both in the service today. And first off, Wanda, you've been a longtime friend of Dr. Angelo. Tell us and give us your impression. You know, we were out here, so we weren't inside and couldn't get the feel of what it was like for you inside.
It was just a beautiful celebration. It was everything that Dr. Angelo was. It was spiritual, it was joyous, it was full of dignity, full of grace, and just so many wonderful stories about what a great instructor she was and how she used her voice to change the world. It was just a lovely ceremony.
What about for you, Talitha?
It was incredible. Just to echo Wanda's sentiment there, it just, across the board, you really felt family, and that was one thing that I really took away, because whether you met her one time or 1,000 times, or it was a part of her everyday circle, she really made you feel a part of family. And that was so evident by when I sat down, so many people were saying, how did you know her? When did you meet her? And that continued to grow, and it spread and spread and spawned bigger conversations within the small neighbor that you are sitting next to. And just to share that moment and share how all of us had similar stories, how she made us feel. We may not have remembered every single thing that she said, but she made us feel just so a part of this village, of Maya's village. And that's something that will forever be in my heart for sure. And I know across the board, many of us have met her too as well, and can say the same.
Yeah, Wanda, you know, I was kind of brought to tears. We were watching over in Renolda Hall from a television screen, and you're listening there, and you're listening to Oprah, and she's trying to get through to try to show us the spirit of who Maya Angelou, her mom, was. And when she was in tears, I was in tears.
Yes, and I was in tears too, and I thought back to what Guy said yesterday, Guy Johnson, her son, saying this is going to be a joyous celebration. We're not going to be mourning, but I can't help but cry because I've lost a mentor. This was someone that not only that I interviewed numerous times, but you know, I saw her as a confidant and as a mentor, and so I've lost that person, but I have joy today, and because I have been blessed to have known her.
How do you move on in the spirit of what Maya Angelou would want you to move on in?
I think it's by doing what her children have said, you know, do what she wants to give. You know, and she's very big about that. I mean, one of the things that she told me in one of my lowest moments is that you need to thank God at all times, and you need to give as much as you can, and I will take that with me the rest of my life.
I loved what Oprah said about now each of us has to be a Maya Angelou for someone else. Did you feel that in there too?
I certainly did, Margot. I mean, you really touched on it, because when I met with her, that's one thing that she told me. She shared a couple of moments before our interview just about being a journalist, but she also shared, Talitha, make sure that you give back. You have a voice in this community for a reason. And when I moved to Winston-Salem, I never thought in a million years that I would meet Dr. Maya Angelou and her family. But I know that there's a purpose for all of us being here and all of us being touched, whether we met her or we read her work. She made sure that we didn't just, you know, take it in and keep it to ourselves. She wanted us to give more and teach and uplift others. And that was one thing that even First Lady Michelle Obama shared with the entire congregation, so to speak, because I felt like I was in church, a part of it. But she said, you know, when she met you, she made you feel as though you could accomplish anything. And her first time meeting her, she felt that way, like, wow, I was born for this, I was ready for this. And that's something that every single person inside and out around the world will take with them for sure.
You know what I'm really amazed by is how a lot of the speakers that got up today could speak in that Maya Angelou voice. Can you guys do that?
I remember the first time when I was walking down the hall with her, and I was just having a casual conversation, and I said, Dr. Angelo, thanks for joining us. I'm so honored to meet you. What are you doing the rest of the day? And she went, stop. Let's not go there. I thought, oh no, I've upset her already. But her message, and it was always about lessons. Her lesson there was stay in the moment. And in this business,
so
that's
hard
to do because you always think about the next deadline. I got to do this, I got to do this. And she said, stay in the moment. And I try to do that. It is hard, but you know, I think about that all the time.
I remember one that Talitha said that when you interviewed her, like last year in November, and I think you wanted to kneel, right?
Well, Nicole and I actually shared that same story, because I wanted to lean down and just kiss her. I mean, she held my hand and she said, Beauty, watch out, Beauty. And I'm like, oh my God, I've got weak in the knees. And she told me to do not kneel before anyone but God. And I know that she told Nicole Duker the same thing. And I recall when she just kept saying my name over and over. She just kept saying, Talitha, Talitha. What does that mean? And her voice just being so penetrating that everyone you can close your eyes and hear her voice and say, Dr. Angelo. And for her to just call my name, I was just astounded, and she wanted to know what my name meant, and I said, little girl, arise. Talitha Kumi, Mark 5:41. It means little girl, arise. And we just started reciting her poem, Still I Rise, Still I Rise. And I have goosebumps just thinking about that moment where this amazing teacher was reciting her poem with me, with what my name means, to rise, little girl, arise. So I was just speechless. It's really hard to put into words, Margot, but it was just that moment. Thank you for reminding me of that.
Yeah, well, you know what? Bill Clinton said it eloquently when he said that for a time that God loaned Maya Angelou his voice.
And he needed her back.
And he needed it back.
I like that. I like
You could hear, though, in her son, you could hear Maya.
Oh, yes.
You know, so much of what he said. He's a wonderful speaker as well.
Well, that was the thing. When I interviewed him the other day, I was amazed. I'd met him before at birthday and Thanksgiving celebrations, but this was the longest time I'd spent with him, and I was amazed at just how much he sounded like his mother. It's the same cadence, and they have the same ability to use words, not waste them. There are no throwaways, and you get back, and it's like you have all of this wonderful material. He really got that from his mother. But you were talking about her voice, and that was the common denominator, too. I mean, she had the kind of voice that she could have recited the alphabet, and it would have sounded good.
So true.
But she used her voice, you know, in such a way that everything mattered, and you felt like when you were in her presence that you needed to pay attention. You were constantly learning, and it's like, this is important stuff. I really need to tune into what's being said.
Well, let me ask both of you, because there's been so much talk about how she spoke 5, 6, 7. We don't know how many different languages.
5.
Did she ever speak in any language besides, English to you guys?
Not to me. I've heard her speak languages at other occasions, but no. I only know one.
In our interview, she did speak in different languages when I was asking her, about the respect and dignity and the human condition, and she just talked a lot about whether you say hello or hola or como está, it's all hello in different languages, and at the heart of us, we are all human. At the heart of us, we are all trying to accomplish the same thing. At the heart of us, we all want to be respected. And if we can just get to that core of dignity and respect across the board, mankind would be so much better off for it. So,
Talitha, everybody has value.
Everyone has value and purpose and substance, and she made us feel that way. So although I didn't know all of the languages that she was speaking when she was saying hello in all of those different languages, I felt just from the warmth of her voice that it was a common greeting. And even many of the people inside were just saying the commonality of her greeting and the way that she carried herself, stern, firm, and always welcoming. That's something that we'll always take with us for sure.
I love Cicely Tyson when she said, we've lost our rock. I've lost my rock. It seemed like the two of them were just really, really tight.
You could tell, yeah, absolutely. And we're going to hear more from Cicely Tyson right now, just a little bit of that interview.
And at the head of the stairs was Maya in her wheelchair. It's the best gift that she's left me with. She took the time, despite the pain that she was suffering, to ride on that bus, to come all the way up to the Sondheim Theater to see me. And from what I understand, she loved every minute. This bond is a tie that never will be broken. I will love you always. Thank you.
And that is going to do it for us today from Waite Chapel on the campus of Wake Forest University. Thank you both for being here and sharing your thoughts, and it was great working with you, Wanda.
Yeah, Maya Angelou, this is a life fully lived, as the program suggested, and this has truly been a celebration of her life. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you later.